What was the Comintern's role in the Russo-German Pact? Imagine a world where political groups shift their stance overnight, and alliances are made and broken in the blink of an eye. That's exactly what happened with the Communist International and the Russo-German Non-Aggression Pact. The Communist International, or Comintern, was created by the Soviet Union to unite communist parties across the globe. Its main goal was to promote revolutionary socialism and spread communist ideas. But by the late 1930s, it was firmly controlled by Joseph Stalin and the Soviet leadership. When the Soviet Union signed the Non-Aggression Pact with Nazi Germany in August 1939, the Comintern's role changed dramatically. Before the pact, the Comintern had urged communist parties worldwide to oppose fascism and Nazi Germany. They wanted a united front against Hitler's rise. But once the pact was signed, everything shifted. Stalin personally ordered the Comintern to stop criticizing Nazi Germany. Instead, they were told to see the European conflict as an imperialist war, where all capitalist countries, Britain, France, and Germany, were equally to blame. The Comintern then issued new instructions to communist parties everywhere. They were told to oppose their own governments' war efforts, especially in Britain and France. They had to avoid actions that might harm Soviet-German relations. This meant communist parties were to work against their countries, war preparations, and stay silent about Nazi Germany. For example, the Communist Party of Great Britain had initially supported fighting Hitler, but after Moscow's orders, they reversed their stance. In France, the Communist Party was banned for opposing the war, and many leaders went into hiding or were arrested. In Germany, where the communist movement was already crushed by the Nazis, the exiled leaders in Moscow took an even harsher tone. They used language against Britain and France that was sometimes more aggressive than Nazi propaganda. The Comintern's publications avoided criticizing Hitler's regime directly. Instead, they focused on attacking Western imperialism. This sudden change caused confusion and even dissent within many communist parties. Members who had fought fascism for years were told to treat Nazi Germany as a temporary ally of the Soviet Union. This damaged the credibility of the Comintern with many socialists and anti-fascists, who saw it as putting Soviet interests above the fight against Nazism. The practical effects of this shift were significant. Communist-led resistance groups in occupied countries were instructed to avoid provoking German forces. Some communist newspapers even sought permission from Nazi authorities to keep publishing. This led to awkward situations, like French and Belgian communists negotiating with German occupiers. The Comintern maintained this pro-pact stance until Germany invaded the Soviet Union in June 1941. After that, they quickly switched back to an anti-fascist position, calling for a global fight against Hitler. This period from 1939 to 1941 shows how the Comintern was used as a tool of Soviet foreign policy. It often meant downplaying or ignoring the threat of Nazism to serve Soviet interests. This shift in stance reveals how international communist movements could be influenced by the strategic needs of the Soviet Union. It also highlights how alliances can change overnight in the world of geopolitics. The Comintern's role in the Russo-German Pact is a clear example of how ideology and realpolitik can clash, with real consequences for anti-fascist efforts around the world.